Hello, Mystery Reopened here. Today, I am talking about an American, superhero, action thriller film, whose name is Spider-Man No Way Home. So just relax, watch out, and enjoy the movie. The movie begins from the very last scene of Spider-Man Far From Home, where Mysterio revealed the true identity of Spider-Man as Peter Parker, and defamed Peter Parker for his murder during the Europe attack, and outed him as Spider-Man to the public. Parker flees from an angry crowd with his girlfriend MJ, and returns back to his apartment, where he learns that Aunt May have broke up with Happy. Peter gives the news to them, that he has been exposed in front of the whole world. Soon, the FBI gets into the apartment and captives Parker, MJ, Ned, and Aunt May. But soon they manage to be lifted by lawyer Matt Murdock. Parker returns to his high school surrounded by a bunch of media outlets. There, Peter gets to know that his university applications has been rejected, including the application of Ned and MJ, for just being his friends. During the Halloween season, Parker got an idea to meet with Dr. Strange. He then arrives at Sanctum Sanctorum, asking Strange to cast a spell to make everyone forget Peter Parker as Spider-Man. But Strange didn't have the Time Stone, since it got destroyed. On time, Strange got another idea. Despite one's warning of the consequences that could incur, Strange cast the spell anyway, making everyone in the world for about Peter Parker Spider-Man, including him as well. However, the spell is damaged when Peter insists on Strange to let his close friends remain the same, which makes the other universes to collapse. Assuming the spell worked, Parker goes to the Alexander Hamilton Bridge, and tries to convince an MIT administrator to accept Nansen and MJ applications of university. Suddenly, the bridge is attacked by Dr. Otto Octavius, who has been entered this universe. Dr. Octavius fights Spider-Man, and in between he rips his nanotechnology from his iron spider suit, causing it to bond with his mechanical tentacles. When Peter removes his mask, Octavius discovers that this isn't the Peter Parker he had previously fought. Because of the nanotech that emerges in his robotic arms, Peter manages to control them, and makes his robotic arms disabled. Peter then captures him, and placed him in a holding cell, in the Sanctum Sanctorum. In the Sanctum Sanctorum, we discovers that the lizard has also been captured by Strange, with the help of MJ and Ned. Peter decides to capture other possible visitors from the multiverse. Peter then finds Electro, who attacks him, but suddenly Sandman arrives there, and helps Peter. Peter then captives them both, and locks them in Sanctum Sanctorum. A homeless Norman Osborn is retrieved after going to a feast facility building, seeking help from Aunt May. Peter, after knowing it, quickly arrives there. There Peter says to him that, "I will surely send you back home safely." He then also took Norman with him. Strange wants to send the villains back to their respective universes, and meet their death, because it's their fate dying while fighting Spider-Man. However, Peter wants to cure, and help them before sending them back to prevent their deaths. He frees them, and confines Strange in the mirror dimension, after a brief fight. Peter then takes all the 5 villains to Happy's apartment. Peter successfully cures Octavius, by using Stark technology to engineer a device to replace his broken inhibitor chip. When Peter develops the cure for Electro and Lizard, Green Goblin makes them realize that what Spider-Man did to them before the cure can be administered. Goblin then manipulates Electro into removing the device that Peter put on him to cure him. And despite the best efforts of Peter and Octavius, the other 4 escaped. In the ensuing battle, May got critically injured by the Goblin, with Peter unable to save her, as she succumbs to her wounds. Fearing the worst after no contact from Peter, MJ, and Ned, accidentally learned how to open portals using Doctor Strange's sling ring, which they use in an attempt to find Spider-Man from other universes. Ned opens the portal and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man arrives there. Ned again opens another portal, now Tobey Maguire Spider-Man arrives. Ned, and MJ, finds their Peter, who is confronted by MJ, after learning of May's death. Tom Spider-Man then meets the other Spider-Man from their respective universes, who share their own stories of losing loved ones. Like Andrew Spider-Man, losing Gwen Stacy, and Tobey Spider-Man, losing Uncle Ben. They then encouraged him to fight, in May's honor. They cooperate on curing the remaining villains. They decided to lower them to the Statue of Liberty, which is now upgraded with a giant shield of Captain America in his honor. Ned and MJ protects the magical box. The Spider-Man battled their enemies together, which was the greatest superhero fight, with villains ever. Electro reconciles with his own universe's Peter, and is encouraged to let go of his villainous tendencies. But the three Spider-Man, along with Octavius who arrives on the scene to help, manage to defeat and cure Electro, Salmon, and Lizard. In between the battle, Ned frees Strange, from the mirror dimension. Strange is surprised to see that Peter's plan really worked. Strange then seizes control of the spell and works to protect the current universe, as the barriers begin to break down between the other universes. And Strange is unable to stop it. Meanwhile, a Raffle Parker overpowers, and brutally fights the Goblin, as revenge for May's death. But shortly is stopped by the Peter from his universe, and saves him from death. But Green Goblin again shows his evilness, and stabs Toby in the back. As the Goblin redirects the blame for May's death on Peter, Parker injects him with the cure, restoring him to a regretful Osborn. To prevent further destruction, Strange has to again make the spell which will erase Peter Parker memory from everyone's mind. Having no other option, Parker requests Strange to cast that spell. Strange fixes the spell, sending the alternate villains and their Spider-Man back to their respective universes, while making everyone forget Parker's existence. Later, Parker arrives to MJ and Ned, and tries to make them remember his existence, and tries to reconnect with MJ and Ned, but cannot bring himself to do it, and leaves as an anonymous Peter Parker. Parker visits May's grave, joined by Happy, who is also now unaware to his identity. Peter promises himself to carry on. Parker then creates a new suit from scratch to resume his independent heroics. In the mid-credits scene, the universe-displaced Eddie Brock and his symbiote companion Venom sit at a bar, and talk with the bartender about other superhumans in the blip. While pondering how to protect this new world, the duo are swiftly transported back to their universe by Strange spell. Unknowingly they leaves a part of Venom on the counter, and the movie ends here. Subscribe to our channel for daily updates, movie recommendations and more. Thank you for watching.